Welcome back. January 2nd, 2024. It's a Tuesday, and Tuesdays is where we're going to be testing out the stuff that we get. So obviously I've gotten a lot of stuff over the last year and a half. Different boxes have come in. You know, we got a Pocket Box, and we got Gear Pack, and SHTF, and just the stuff we get on Amazon, like the different camp stoves and stuff. And we're going to keep getting stuff throughout the course of this year. But I want to start putting this stuff to the test. You know, the fire starters, the knives, the camp stoves. We need to test the stuff that we get to see what's good and what's not good. Most of it, I think, is going to be not that great. But at least if you know your equipment's limitations, then that's a way to start. And so I think that that's one place that that has been lacking in my channel, is that, you know, I keep getting the stuff and I keep saying I'm going to use it. And I have tried out a few stuff. I mean, if you remember back last year, I compared the different Dollar Tree, you know, the different fire starters that I got at the Dollar Tree, whether it was the jute twine, the quick fire, the fire starter log, you know, and we tried it with different things, whether it was matches or a ferrocerium rod, a lighter. And so we're going to be doing more of stuff like that, because we do have a lot of stuff. And I mean, I want to try it out, because there's a lot of the stuff that I look at and I'm like, you know what, if this works, this could be really good. So, and of course, you know, we have gotten some good stuff from Amazon. You know, we got like the folding camp stove, you know, the twig burning stove. And, you know, and I'm sure that we're going to get more stuff throughout the course of this year that's going to be able to be used, but we're going to try it. And so, and I'm not going to just try the knives. I mean, if, as you recall, I did try out the saw. I did try out the different saws that we got from SHTF, as well as we used the shovel that we got, the folding shovel that we got from SHTF. So, and I think it's important to test the stuff out. And so, as we go through the boxes and we are opening stuff, I'm going to ask you. It's like, what would you like to see me try out? I know one thing that I am looking forward to trying out was the solar lighter that we got a few months ago from SHTF, where it just uses the power of the sun with the reflective dish. So it's something that it intrigues me. And so, but if it doesn't work, then I'm not going to pack it. And so, and that's another thing, because throughout the course of this year, the stuff that we get, we're going to try out the new stuff, some of the old stuff, but we want to try out that new stuff and see what we want to pack into our survival pack. Because by the end of the year, I want to use these different subscription boxes, and we're going to probably do a couple Amazon orders depending on how my applications like Cashwalk and Just Play and stuff work out. We're going to get a couple Amazon orders in as well, and we're going to try that stuff out too. Because good stuff is good to have too. You know, we don't want to rely just on the budget gear, but because there's such a vast amount of stuff out there that is a little bit more affordable. If it's something that is going to work and it's going to save you $10-15, then by all means you want to get that. And so I think that's why it's important to try out these different items. But by the end of the year, hopefully we'll have a really well thought out, well planned out survival kit. Now, last year I did get Dave Canterbury's books, and of course, if you know anything about survival, you know it's a lot of people will say, you know, the 5 C's of survival, the 5 C's of sustainability, and I believe in using that, but there's other things that are not part of those 10 C's that you have to think about. You know, most what comes to the top of my head is first aid. I mean, that's something that, you know, if you are out in the wild, you at least want to have some first aid items, even if it's just like a Band-Aid, because if you get an infection, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get an infection, that could go bad. And so I believe that there are certain things that are not exactly covered in those 10 C's. Yeah, the 10 C's may be kind of like the foundation, but just like when you're building a house, you have your foundation, you have to build on that foundation. And so whereas I like those tendencies, but I think that you have to move past that. And so that's one of those things that I plan on doing. I mean, yeah, we're going to work on cutting tools and cover and cordage and all that, but there's other things that are in there that are not covered that I think are equally important. And of course, we will have redundancies in everything. So we don't want to rely on just one thing, because if you do get out there and you only have one item and you lose it or it breaks, then you're in trouble. So, but we want to test the gear out, and we're going to be doing those testings on Tuesdays this year. So every Tuesday, we're going to be testing at least one item, possibly more. Hey, we may test out every item in the box that we get. So, and just do a massive testing on those days. But I mean, obviously some things just don't warrant testing, and some things we may test on different days of the week because they fall under a different part of the channel. Say, I don't know, like if you got survival food, hint, because we're going to be, we're going to have different days of the week. And I do plan on doing, again, this is going to be a huge undertaking, and I hope that I can pull it off, because I don't want to let anybody down, especially myself. But I do plan on doing a video a day, and for the whole year, at least one. Some days there might be more videos posted, just because we may have more stuff than I can really deal with on one video, and I'd rather keep them shorter. I'd rather keep them shorter so that you guys stay and watch them. So, but that's what's coming up for Tuesdays this year in 2024. We're going to be testing the gear that we get, whether it's knives, sharpening stones, whether it's camp stoves, whether it's if we get tents, we're going to test the tarps. We want to test that stuff. Fire starters. If we get fire starters, then we're going to test those. We're going to test those fire starters, and and when it comes to the knives, we're going to come up with like things to test it, and we're going to keep all the tests the same for the same type of knife. Obviously, a folding knife is not going to be tested the same way as a fixed bladed knife. So, but we are going to be testing those. We're going to be testing those things, and we're going to have a set pattern. And when it comes to say when we're building our survival kit for this year, obviously, if I'm getting 2 or 3 knives a month, we're not going to be packing all those knives away. So that's why I feel it's important that we do test those knives, but we're going to test the other stuff as well. But because we want to pick the best knife to go into our pack, and I feel that we should have 2 knives at least. No more than, I would say no more than 3, but at least 2. And I think that we should figure out what's a good fixed bladed knife to carry, because a larger fixed bladed knife is capable of certain tasks that a smaller folding knife isn't. But I do put a lot of faith in having a small folding knife as well, to handle those smaller tasks, say, cleaning fish or, processing game. Yeah, you can do it with a larger knife, and if you can do it with a larger knife, it's easier to do it with the smaller knife. But I feel that it's important to have both, because you do need the right tool for the job. So, and the only way to find out what the right tool is to do those gear testings. So that's what's coming up this year. Every Tuesday, we're going to be testing out our new gear.